Alright guys, what we're going to do here is roll out the gnocchi. So I had a long log, I cut it into 4 pieces, 1, 2, 3, 4, and these are just really lightly covered in flour. I'm also using Caputo 00 flour, and the idea behind that is to let it absorb moisture as quickly as possible with the finer grind, and hopefully not get as much gluten development, because we want a really nice and light gnocchi. So we're going to take these rolls, I'm going to roll them out really gently, and you want to try and work with them as little as possible. Again, you want to not have the gluten develop as much as possible. And what I do is I actually rest my heel of the palm and my fingers on the board, and I use that to control how high my palm goes. And that lets me get, if I want a really thin gnocchi or if I want a thicker gnocchi, I can use that little trick to get a nice even thing. That works really well actually when shaping baguettes, which obviously this looks very similar to shaping baguettes. You get a nice even little elevation all the way through. If it's if it's a little thin on the side, if you go too far like I just did, it's not really a big deal. We're gonna chop this up and we're gonna roll them. So we've got the first one done. So I'm just gonna cut these off, maybe 3/4 of an inch. You know, if it's a little thicker, this is where you get a little play. Maybe 1/2 an inch if it's a little thicker. That one's a little thicker. This one's a little thin, so I'll go a little wider, if you see where I'm going with that. And then when we shape them, we'll be able to have a nice uniform gnocchi size. So you can see that they're still pretty light, but they're definitely going to hold their shape. I can feel they're tacky, a little gummy, and they actually taste really good. So this was just 2 egg yolks, a little bit of salt, a little bit of the 00 flour, and the russet potatoes. And now I'm going to hold these off for now just so I can show you guys a few. I'm going to put a little bit of flour on the board and a little on my fingers. And even if you want to, you can always roll these around in the flour as well. Not a big deal. Just try and dust as much as you can, especially before it goes into the water. So at this point, all we're going to do is you're going to put it on the board, and we're going to kind of roll down just like that. Right? So I'm putting a little bit of pressure with my thumb, and that's our gnocchi. So a little bit of pressure, pressing down. And the whole idea behind a gnocchi board, hopefully you can see this on the video, is you've got these nice little grooves. And what that does is it actually lets the sauce kind of nestle inside there, and it has something to cling to, rather than just this little puff here with no place for the sauce to rest. This will kind of absorb a little bit into the shape of the gnocchi. You get a little bit more sauce in each bite, and honestly, it looks much better. So when we cook these, we're gonna pan sear these. We're gonna blanch them first, and then we're gonna pan sear them. They're gonna get a nice brown crust on them. And you know, which one would you think looks better? It's a little bit more time consuming, but you get a better product in the end, and hopefully you guys will take the time out to do it.